And of course it was after our time then that, see, towards the end of our studies there, the Vatican Council was going on and things were beginning to...
You were in Maynooth that time?
Yeah.
And was it a great subject of debate or discussion?
It was just beginning. You see, 1963 we were ordained. It was just beginning at that stage, and there was a whole... those things were opening up, and there's a greater sense of freedom around. And
did you understand it?
At the time?
Yeah. I never really understood it myself.
It took us a while to come to terms with it.
Mm.
And the whole, the whole new, it really made us reflect on a lot of things at that stage. And because you see, we when our preparation was the same as was done for 100 years or more before that. We learned to celebrate Mass in Latin. Latin was a lot of our textbooks were in Latin. And
you're back to the crowd.
Yeah. And then there was this whole change. And we were looking at that since that we kind of came out, we straddled both experiences, the old and the new. And
was there resistance to it?
I wouldn't say that we wouldn't have found much of a difficulty in adjusting.
And how about the more senior guys?
But the men that were before us, I would say, would have found it difficult enough to because it took a fair bit of,
How long did it take to have an effect? It was around for a while, I think, before.
Oh yeah, I suppose they say that all these councils that it's only maybe 50 years later that they're beginning really to touch the ground.
They often thought that.
And in many ways, I suppose it is. I suppose the present Pope has given a whole new kind of lift that whole concept again of the people of God and a whole new sense of the power of the Spirit and he certainly is I think challenging us all to look at what being a disciple of the Lord is.
Is that difficult?
Well, I think it's refreshing. It's refreshing for us. And that spirit would be, you see, John the 23rd, that has kind of really described the whole idea of opening the windows and having the Vatican Council and all of that. It was a whole new experience for our church at the time, for all of us. And a whole new learning and reflection. And I think this man is, in a sense, has brought something of that new vitality and spirit and encouragement again to that.
Is it more of the same, or is it a different thing?
I'd say it's the
a restatement? No.
I'd say it's a refreshing, a revitalising of the whole message of the council, and challenging us again to take responsibility, and allowing us to think and to reflect, and like his whole consultation on the family, where he has sent all the whole thing out to people all over the world and to get feedback there so that preparation for the next Synod. That certainly is something of...
Is there going to be a next Synod, yeah?
A Synod coming up, yeah, in October.
This year?
Yeah.
And what happens at that?
Well, you have all of this will be coming in preparation for that. And it's a time really where they reflect on what has come back at Brazil now in this.
He has a huge emphasis on the poor.
Yes, yeah.
It's all his energy is directed at the poor.
Well, I suppose he's coloured by the background that he himself, and he's certainly, I suppose, challenging us to reach out to people in all stages of life, to reach out to particular people who are broken and who have lost heart and lost hope, and that we're all going to be there for them, to listen, to reflect, and to walk the journey with them.
Could people who are not poor feel a bit miffed by being almost left out of the loop?
Well, I suppose that's that could be a feature that people might feel that way. I suppose again, it's an invitation to them to reflect on the broader story of life around them.
State their case.
Yes. Yeah.